Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations. I just got home from work Friday afternoon, evening, I guess it is. Wolfed down a pizza with hubby, and he's gone to cut the grass. A few more weeks of him cutting the grass. And I thought I would finish up or continue on at least with my black cat spiderweb junk journal. So where we left off was I had the cover done with a flip out on the front. And I've got this little signature of just coffee dyed paper with the black polka dot paper as its little cover. And so I just thought I would start this video off by sewing this little signature in. I'm just evening that up and picking out some thread. I've got my little vintage turquoise sewing box that I use for my bookbinding box, I guess you would call it. So I'm just looking to see what I have for thread that I might want to use. The coffee dye. I'm surprised it don't have black. There's some black. I think that's actually really thin leather, but I can use that. I should get some different threads in there. I'll use this fairly big needle. And I'll use this larger poking tool. I have been using my, I guess it's like a Cricut weeder. It's a little bit finer, but if I want to get that head through, I'm going to need bigger holes. So, this is from my jewelry making days, very thin black cord, leather cord. Let's see how it's tied up here. Someone's done some fancy knot work here. There we go. I don't see an end, so it's kind of hard to find an end. I think I'm going to end up completely unwinding it. There's two ends together. So I usually do 3 times. I might just add a 4th just to be safe. Just kind of wind it up a little more normally. I'm going to use my threader. Well, it's probably not necessarily with this because this will probably push through if I just flatten it a bit. Oh, and I forgot that I took my nail polish off my thumbnails on the way home. I was playing around with the nail wraps that I got at a thrift store last week. You probably haven't seen that haul yet, but I got a whole bunch of jamberry nail wraps, the kind of nail polish stickers, I guess they are. And I had them on my thumbs only because I got tired of messing with them after I put my thumb on. Did my rest of my fingers in purple. But I took them off because they had wrinkles in them and there was one spot that was loose. So on the way home, while I was driving, I was picking at my nails. But I didn't have time to fix them because hubby just sprung this on me that he was going to go cut the grass. So here we are. What I need is some pliers to flatten that just a bit. My jewelry making pliers close by here. just flatten that out just a bit so that it might then go through the head of the needle. If it doesn't bounce back. There it goes. Okay, so I should really make myself a little template. It gives me one more chance to show you how I do my little templates. So I want the template the same width as the little book is. And it doesn't matter how wide it is, as long as you can fold that piece of paper in half lengthways. This. And then you will fold that in half the other way to find the center. And then I usually come in about 3/4 to an inch and fold down both pieces, both sides, and that gives you holes that are equidistant from the center. And then I think I'm going to clamp this all together. So I want that centered kind of with the lace. This just has a few pages. I don't want it to be too thick. That's good right there. So I'm going to clamp that in place. And then this is my cushion. It's just a piece of that really dense foam. And center that with my book. Just want to catch that underneath that clamp. And then I'm going to take and go right into that intersection there. And again, and a third time. And then you take your needle and you go in through the center hole, right out through the spine. And this is going to give me a little bit of trouble still pulling through. There we go. Don't pull it all the way through. Make sure you leave a tail inside. If you have trouble with if you have trouble with that getting away on you, just clamp it off to the side so it won't pull all the way through. And then you want to go, you're outside the book, so you want to come back inside the book. So through one of the other holes, it doesn't matter which way you go, top or bottom is fine. And then come into the middle, pull it snug, go all the way up to the other hole, far end. Pull it snug, and then come back into the middle. And you just want to come up on the opposite side of that cord. Pull that snug again. And just make sure that you're good and tight on the outside. This piece here isn't very tight. Pull that more snug. And then pull that more snug. And then snug that up. There we go. And then I just tie a knot. It's going to give me quite a bit of waste on this one. Tie a knot right over top of that center cord. And then I'm not going to do a bow. I'm going to do another knot. Sometimes I do a little bow if it's a pretty journal. And then I'm going to leave these long for now, because what I might want to do when I get done is I might want to tie some charms on. Some Halloween charms. If I have any left, I've given some away in swaps, and I just sold a whole bunch of Halloween earrings, so I'm not sure if I have any Halloween charms. I may have to go buy some, which is crazy because I have charms galore. Okay, so that's that little signature sewn in. You can see the black leather, and I might need to take my black ink and just tidy up those holes a bit, camouflage the tear out on them. And I usually like that cord. Oh, you know what I didn't? I just sewed right through my template. You're not supposed to do that. It'll rip out. I've never done that before. It's been a while since I bound anything. I usually bring them up through the top, and then when they dangle down the side, that's where your charms would be hanging. So I'm going to call that section done for now. I think I do want to put a pocket here, but I don't know which paper yet. So let's go to the actual inside of the main journal. There's room there for another. I might have to use those same holes. I don't know how that's going to work. We have to do something different here, like maybe a waterfall pad and a pocket or something instead of another signature. Just because I don't know that this spine is going to take another. If I punch holes right beside these ones, they're going to be all messy. So let's do a waterfall. I love waterfalls anyway. And then we could include some of this Halloween paper in it. So I had brought out my signature box. So I showed this in a video as well. And so you can go and check out that video if you haven't seen it yet. This is how I store my pre-folded papers for signatures. And I just want to look through it and see if there's any that I want to use here. So I've got this paper, which is from a, what do you call those? Composition notebook. And then I have some dictionary pages. I'm gonna have to spend some time this winter reading the dictionary. Something I never thought I would do. Just going through these pages that I've torn out and looking for key words like spooky words or Christmas words or joyful words or gardening words or things like that, because now to find it, to think of a word and find it, I did leave this in order, so it might not be too bad. Let's look up spooky and see if it is in here. Oh, it's not all in order. I think it's in order backwards because of the way I was cutting it out or pulling them out. So maybe I won't do that. I wish I had thought of that a little bit more. Cat. There's a lot on cat, so I could use that page. And then the other thing that we've got on this book is a spider web. So let's see if we can find spider. gotta remember that when I'm taking apart these books in particular, to keep them in order. So that's a hint for you. SP section is MIA. O. LMNO. That's certainly something that you could do when you're watching the television, is just sort of scan over pages and find good words. Maybe just mark them with a Post-it note if you don't have your ink handy. But the thing that I thought would be cool was to take your colored inks and like highlight them in a wispy way. Oh, well, I'm not going to be able to find spooky or a spider, I don't think. I wish you were all here to tell me what other words to look for. Put in the comments, what other spooky words would you look for in the dictionary to include in your Halloween junk journal? That's disappointing. Maybe it picks up again back here. Oh, there's more S's here. Spider. Oh, I suppose I could do web as well. I could find the W's. Nope, those two I'll have to do. I'm not going to spend any more time on it right now. You guys have better things to do, don't you? There's kind of a vintage page. I kind of want brown tones, I think. And that's the other thing. Music that has certain themes would be another thing to set aside. There's not a lot of Halloween music, sheet music, but there is a lot of Christmas, of course. And then I think in this, I would like to include maybe one of the coloring pages or something. No, a heart isn't going to work, is it? Got a dead fly there. I could use some purple. Yeah, I think I'm going to be looking for some more. I'm going to reach for some more coffee dyed paper, I think. For this kind of a journal, I think it just needs to be not really heavily themed. Actually, here's where I could use the cardstock that I couldn't use yesterday. I got these cardstock, they're actually invitations. So if I take this, and maybe with some orange ink, I'm won't do that right now. I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on crafting, so I'm just a little off my game right at the moment. So let's see here. This will fit in this nicely. So spider was the word I wanted there. And I think I'll put spider here and cat here. And I think I just need to tear them a little bit. Ripple scissors just in case. I want to tear them with this. I usually use this side of the tear ruler. Gives me a nice fine uneven edge, but I want to do it a little rougher this time. So I'm going to use this side of it. Yeah, that's better. And I'm going to do it on both edges of the book. I think I'll do it top and bottom too, just to give it a cool vibe. Those little strips would actually be good, but I've got so many right now. Okay, so I'm going to use glue stick and then a little bit of tacky glue around the edges, I think. I'm pretty sure at this point that that's what I want to do. Okay, so cat and spider. I'm going to glue these right down onto the black. And I'm not even going to ink them because they're already kind of a nice aged color. And because I forgot to ink them before I put the glue stick down. And since I've gotten rid of, I'm going to put the cat over here. And I'm not going to center it. I'm going to put it like equal distant from the bottom and the side. And let it be kind of down in the corner. And I didn't even use the tacky glue. I'll leave it for now and maybe come back if it starts to curl up, which it might. And spider, you just got to make sure you're not putting the glue stick onto the side that you want to see. Sometimes you can tell when you're using scrapbook paper or something, but when you're using book page, sometimes I've done it where I put the glue on the wrong side, for sure. So just beware of that. And let's see here. I think I'll do the same thing. It's got a bit of a wrinkle right there. Not going to worry about it. See, I could come in with just vintage photo maybe. And just give the edges a little bit more. This is a great thing to do after a long day at work. It helps me unwind quite a bit. And you know what hubby's doing, cutting the grass, does the same thing for him. He got a new set of work tunes, ISO tunes they're called, and no, this isn't sponsored. But he wears his headphones when he's cutting the grass for sound protection, and they play music through them. So he'll be out there listening to music, cutting the grass, and probably singing at the top of his lungs. He just loves doing that. Okay, so that's better now that it's aged a little bit more. And then I'm going to see how I can use these. So I want to do, I'm going to have this side showing. So I'm going to fold this. Yeah, I'm going to have the other side showing every once in a while too, aren't I? Every other one or something. There's probably a quick, easy way to do this that I'm not thinking of right now. This is like a weak spot here. I don't think I like this. Sorry, folks. Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to use this stuff from the composition book. They're nice and aged. They're too wide. So I can use my same tearing scissors if I want to make them the right width and to give both edges, although I don't want to really lose that darkened edge, do I? It's almost the right size for the main signature. Maybe I'll just do that. Why mess with it, eh? It's just figuring out how to. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make this into a little booklet and make a pocket. Have to be a pocket down this side maybe that this slips into, because I've got the cat. I don't want to cover the cat and I don't want to cover the spider, but I could cover the pocket, cover this side. So let's do that. Let's make our pockets out of this. I want to make my cover out of this stuff, and I'll make my pockets out of the polka dots, the orange ones. So let's make our book first. And this will be a loose book, and then this is attached. So we get a little variety there. It's a work in progress. Making it up as I go, as you can tell. So if this is the size of my little booklet, I'm not even gonna worry about the uneven pages, because it's Halloween. Like, it can be a little bit spooky feeling. What I might do is ripple the edge of my paper, my cover, and heavily ink it as well. So which way do I want to go here? I want that for my cover. I think I want that. So I like this paper. If this is sitting about like that, then I would want it about 7.5 inches. If I make it 7 3/4 and then trim it. This thing is 8, so I'll go 7 3/4. Okay. And then, how did I have that? This one. And I'm just going to follow that edge. And if I got lots right up that side too. So then that I can bind as a little booklet and it'll fit in a pocket. And then if I want to, I can further embellish those pages too. I might want it to go in this way and have like a tab or something, but I'm not going to have much room for a tab. Let's bind it. Sorry for the noise. So we do the same thing. Actually, I think I'm going to try just eyeing this one. And then, just wondering if I have some orange string. Just really isn't my color. I don't have orange. I'm going to just use this. Oh, I do. I've got this orange, which is edges from wired ribbon. And I've talked about this a couple times, how I can use it to bind books. So I'll show you. And it's orange. So this is the wired edge, the wire edge. And whatever, oh, I think it was this was in the center of it, this plaid ribbon. And I tore it off. I tore the wired edges off of it. That's where I got it. 1, 2, 3 should do it. And I'm not going to use those nice scissors. I'm going to use these. Wire cutter. They're not doing it either. There we go. Probably could have just bent it back and forth a couple times. And because this is wire, I don't even think I need to worry about putting it on a needle. As long as it'll let if I can get the fabric part of it to go through. See, it's separating on me. I'll do is just glue that. Just see if that's enough to get it to go through. I just have to get it started. I've done this before. It should work. Just giving that glue a chance to dry. Or there's no wire exposed. There we go. I'll break down and use the needle. Just watch that it doesn't curl on you. Nice little orange spine instead of black. And then I'll still tie it even though it's wire. It's very, very thin. And right now I'm not going to trim it because again I might want to put something. Actually I will. On this one I will because I'm not likely going to put beads, because they'll be making the inside of the book too thick. Yeah, that looks suitably scruffy. And then I think ground espresso will have to be the ink on this so that it'll show up. Maybe even some black afterwards. So give it a good. And that's maybe what I should have done is put some coffee dyed paper on the inside of this cover. I can just ink it a lot. I think it's definitely time for some re-inkers. Some refills. Looks awfully white, doesn't it? Let's see here. Around the edge. It's time for new felts. Not felts, but this is how these come there when you order them. So when I'm still collecting new handles, so I order them a bunch of the foam pads with a handle every time, till I have a handle for every color. So that just Velcros on. And that one's got a hole right through it. It's falling apart. It's been being used for several months now. And then I'll just stick that on there. That's my ground espresso one. And this one was coming loose too, so I'm gonna do it while I'm at it. That's my vintage photo. And I don't, well, the square one that I have, I've been using for black. I might do a round one for black. I'm not really crazy about the circles that I'm getting there. I may have to make it work for me somehow. Become part of the design. Stop trying to fight it. Get my vintage photo out and try to do it in the center. And then maybe what I'll do is get a Halloween stamp and do some stamping in black over top of this. I could have done my leaf technique that I did a video on. And I did this. That's what I should have done. Anyway, this will be fine. This will do. So I won't make you watch me do all that. You probably wouldn't want to. Keep these lids straight. I'll do the other side off camera and show it to you in the next section of the video. Let's get on with our pocket. So if we're going to do a pocket out of this, it can be the full height of this page so that this won't have any trouble fitting in, because that'll give me room to glue. And it'll be shallow. It'll just be a couple of inches. Actually, no, I've got that, but the problem with that is it's the same as the book, and I don't want that. In fact, maybe I should do the black again, just for some contrast. That's what we're doing. So I want this, and I don't think this needs a scallop in it. It's very shallow. It's almost more of a tuck spot than a pocket. I'll do just shy of the full height. And then see if I can see those lines. That one I can still see. Just gotta keep your eye on it. There it is. Right there. And that definitely wants some ink. And I might come back and further embellish this little pocket. Today I just want to get it on there and make sure my book fits in. And then I think we're gonna end the session and go watch some TV. So very thin bead of glue. I'll be finished cutting the grass pretty quick. I think he was just teasing me. So if you've watched this far, thank you very much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Most of all, have a fabulous day, weekend, evening, whatever you may be having. Enjoy it. And see you next time.